Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Another good day here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of what, ladies and gentlemen? Of DYOR Live. That's right, live, not recorded, not from the future, not from the past. I'm winging this one. It's live, ladies and gentlemen, here on the DYOR Media Network. And as usual, I got to check the date because I forget it. It is March 26, 2024. 24, we're getting up there in age here. It's the end of the quarter coming up. It's the end of winter, and it's the end of the bear market. The bull market is in full swing. The crypto meme market is in full swing. The gaming market is in full swing. Everything's in full swing going on right now, except probably all the projects that you're invested in, right? Exactly. That's how it goes. Over here to my right is Pedro Garcia's screen, and it's blank. It's blank because Pedro's running late. Again today, as is his habit lately. Actually, I haven't heard from Pedro, so hopefully he's okay. Well, welcome the regular crew here, and welcome some new names. Jesse, our SFC, thanks for joining us from the Operation Phoenix crew. Really appreciate it. Operation Phoenix getting ready to launch their new DEX from DeFi Mark. Thanks so much. Zach Humphreys in the house. Zach Humphreys, if you're not subscribed to Zach Humphreys' YouTube channel, please do. Go back to YouTube, type in Zach Humphreys, and subscribe to his channel. Excellent content all the time. Lots of alpha, lots of things he talks about 1 week, pump the next week. All good stuff going on there with Zach. Zach and I are going to be, Zach, if you're still listening, I have a phone call with the blockchain futurist people right after the show today to talk about logistics and setting up a kind of a creator studio area, and I believe that they are going to give me a hardwired line. Anyway, I'll fill you in on that after the phone call. I think we got a good thing going for that. Jason Spur just pipes up. Operation Phoenix is incredible. It is. It's going to have some great technology here, and hopefully the masses will flock in and drive that thing up to 1 million holders instead of 2,000 or so, whatever it is. And Jason says, "What's up, everyone? Another beautiful day." Alt notify. Easy, Tom. Do us a shout out from the Botters crew. The Botters crew coming to us from Boddington's TG room. Thank you very much for joining the show and rating our chat. Really appreciate it. And Jesus, yes, we are live, baby. We are live. Any home runs? I haven't hit a home run since I was 12 years old in a baseball all-star league practice game. That was the last home run I hit. Playing baseball, I was the short guy. I played center field because I could run down anything and catch the ball, but I was not a power hitter. When I was 12 years old, I was about 4'9", about 110 pounds. That's it. But home runs, as for crypto, if you're not in CAW on Crow with knife, you're missing out. pepez on mainnetz, the latest frog iteration, that's a home run for sure, and it's ready to just absolutely launch. Is because to get money onto mainnetz, you have to go through one of the many exchanges and then get to their DEX on Zodiac Swap. And the meme coin developer for pepez, it just said, I got to do this myself. I'm going to make my own bridge. Imagine that, a meme coin guy making his own bridge to bring money in. And when he does that, the money's it's going to be FOMO City. Kansas Xenos is Pepsi all day, every day. Chuck Jansen, welcome. Doc in the house. Thanks for joining us again.
Using the whole fist, Doc?
That's right, Doc. Using the whole fist there. Where's everybody else here today? Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Make sure if you're listening out there, please subscribe to comment. And if you're not going to comment, please subscribe anyway, because it helps. But I got to do, Pedro's not here to do his little shtick here. Let us know where you're coming from. If you're new, tell us where. If you don't necessarily want to dox yourself, where you are actually coming from, tell us where you'd rather be. I'd like to be in Paris right now, preparing for the Paris Blockchain Week. Big events here. I got press passes for it for Pedro and I, but I didn't get a sponsor. And it's not cheap to go and stay in Paris and cover it properly. Probably could have figured out a way to go there and just walk around the trade show, but still would have been expensive. Jesus says, or Roscoe, you're new to the show. London, is that London, Kanukistan, or London, UK? And I asked that because I have a bunch of viewers from, if you're from London, UK, you're like, well, there's no really other London in the world. But I do have a bunch of viewers from London, Canada. So Jason's coming to us from Florida. Florida's been well represented lately on the show. A bunch of people from Fort Lauderdale. I periodically do the show from the Fernandina Beach area. As they say, that's where the parents live. P2P movement, reward token checking in, give DYOR a like. Thanks for joining us. Why don't you DM me some info about your reward token? My DMs are always open. I get a lot of crap too. Dragon Ball Z. Let's go, Tom. Thank you very much. The guys at Roscoe in the UK. I got to tell you, I love London. I've spent a lot of time in London. Used to go to trade shows there a lot. For a while, I temporarily resided down in Sutton, down south in Surrey, while I had a particular contract over there. I love it. I love going around in that city. For one of the reasons why is that there's a train that'll take you anywhere, and anywhere you go, there's a pub. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's like you're in a foreign country, but it's the same. But it's like I spend half my time in Canada, and so it's like or in Ontario. It's like going to Quebec. It's like, oh, they speak French over here. They smoke more. They're a little different, but it's still McDonald's, Home Depot, Starbucks, same shit. But I love London. I always have fun there. I've got a lot of friends there, and tend to drink a lot when I'm there. Dragon Ball Z is coming to us from Ireland. Love Ireland. Amazingly enough, the Herlihy family here with family names like O'Gara, O'Shea, Fitzgerald. My son's name's John Fitzgerald Herlihy. I've only been to Ireland once. Amazing. Families from down near where Cork and Kerry meet, right in that area type stuff. And they left a long time ago. They took the bread and dropped the O and came to the U.S. I can talk. I literally can talk all day. Person-to-person movement says, reward token BSC. Jason says, San Fran, Cali. Love San Fran, too. Used to go there a lot for work, too. Long time ago for that one. That was back in the day when you could leave San Fran, go out to Napa, and have wine tastings for free, and there'd be no traffic. That's impossible now. Impossible. Kansas says, take a guess where I am. Yep. Kansas. How's your basketball team going to do this year in the March Madness? It is March Madness time for you non-Americans. It is March Madness time. So you hear a lot of references to the craziness going on. And what I'd like to say, look at this chart coming on over here, guys. What does that mean? That means Pedro is coming up in the house here. March Madness is our basketball tournament. As I like to tell the people in the UK and Europe and stuff, imagine taking your English Premier League or your Spanish one, the Liga, or in the Champions League, and compressing it down into about 3.5 weeks. Maybe 4 weeks. I can't remember how long it is. And you compress it all the way down into that 4-week period. The Canadians know this as the World Juniors in hockey, a similar feeling. But we Americans, we run our basketball tournament all the way down. And it's not professional. It's just the collegiate level in this short period of time. And the nation goes freaking nuts. And gambling numbers go off the charts. Like the betting goes from, if the average is 100%, it goes up to like 1,000,000%. And it's wonderful, and it's fun, and it's heart-stopping. And even if you don't follow basketball, just follow the tournament. And the last 10 minutes of every basketball game is a heart stopper. It's wonderful. Pedro, I hear you creaking around back there. All right, Pedro, your mic is live now. Pedro Garcia, welcome to the house, ladies and gentlemen. It is insanity, and while you were out last week, pretty much all I talked about was meme coins and degenning, and I've spent way too much degenning. If you can look, my eyes are probably a little bit more red than normal here from just constant staring at screens. And just as you think you're making a breakthrough in one, you're like, yes, it's going to make the breakthrough. It tanks, and the one you didn't invest in just goes to $1 billion market cap, and you're just like, mother. Homie is a good one too. Yes, Jesus. Homie's been kicking it. Just blasted off, just tripled overnight or something like that. I know. If they don't do 3x, you're out. You're like, this one sucks, man. Let's see. Let's bring my screen back up here. Here, I got homie up here. It's just a homie, and the picture of the frog, which you can't see here, is just a homie-looking frog. He's chilling, and they're killing it. They're killing it. It's just price go up. Price go up. I'm not in on this one. The doc told me about this one, and I was going to invest in it, and I didn't. And I forgot. Oh, the X's. Let's see. It went from 8 up to 20. It's so far 3x. Or is that? It's 2 zeros. That's 3 zeros. Oh, I don't know. It's like 20x. To only $2 million market cap, homie's got a long way to go. I'm assuming I have the right one on here because Chuck mentioned that there was a big pullback, and I don't see a big pullback in this one. But this one looks good anyway. Oh, I see where this show is going. Jesus says got in at 500K. It's now. I got the right one, guys. Right here, it says 2 million market cap. Yes, you do. It was short-lived. Oh, it got bought back really fast. Oh. All right, before we can degen all day, and I think it's going to be a topic of this because the crowd is really into it. But I wanted to bring up let's talk about the news from yesterday first. The SEC came out yesterday and said, all right, we want to settle all of this business now, and we're going to stick it to Ripple here by getting a $2 billion fine out of them, and sanctions against trading in the future, and sanctions against using their token in certain ways. And XR, usually in the past when the SEC would do this, people would just fall down and be like, oh my God, we're so sorry. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderati, announced the developments files. You can see where the SEC summary is made public. They're asking the judge for $2 billion. Our answer will be available next month, but as we have seen time and time again, this is a regulator that operates on statements that are false, ill-defined, and designed to mislead. They stayed true to their form here. Rather than faithfully enforcing the law, the SEC continues to seek and punish and intimidate Ripple and the industry in general. We believe the court will approach the solution phase fairly, meaning that, as we all believe, that the court's going to tell Gary Gensler and crew to go stick it up as Yahuwah and get lost, because they've had enough of the. For those of you who haven't followed the case in detail, I have not, but the basics of it are that the SEC took a view on something. Ripple didn't like it, and Ripple then accused the SEC of, doing things not according to the law, but because of personal biases, because of insider trading, because of all sorts of things, and sued the SEC. And the SEC dragged it out for years. They stalled it forever, and Ripple said, "Hey, you're harming our business, and so we're going to probably sue you for billions more." And the SEC came back and said, "Oh no, we're going to extract all kinds of concessions out of you. You guys are evil." And then the court sided with Ripple. And then in another action in the case, court sided with Ripple. And then in a third action, the court sided with Ripple. The SEC's lost almost every time, except for one part of it in which they said their initial coin offering to industry people was a security. But trading the token is not a security. Set a big precedent for everything. Not a complete precedent. There's other courts that have ruled differently since then, so we're going to be going back to the Supreme Court probably. But anyway, it's been a long time. The SEC is coming out again and saying, "We're going to get you, you evil people." And the SEC, as I have said before, if you listen to my show a lot, bear with me, guys, we'll degen soon. The SEC is run by Mr. Gary Gensler, who, if you've heard me say it over and over again, has a character flaw. And that character flaw is wanting to be the man. And while this whole ETF thing, there's always one case or thing going on that makes him the center of the industry attention, from banking to crypto or whatever. And when there's nothing going on, he gets cranky. And you can see him on the news. There's a familiar pattern. He gets on the news. He gets on CNBC. He's the man. He's talking about things. All of a sudden, the decision comes. ETFs are launched. Another case he loses, and he's gone for a while. And all of a sudden, you see his PR machine starting going up. His Twitter feed starts going. His appearances trying to get on TV again, getting on TV again, start to come up, and then he announces some big thing. And the whole industry comes to him as he's the center of it, because he's the gatekeeper to dismissing the lawsuits. He's the gatekeeper to making the banks happy for the ETFs. He's this, he's that guy. And when that guy is not in the news, he's unhappy and comes up with ways to get back in the news. And he's been getting a lot of traction out of this Ripple thing. We'll see where it's going to go. If any of you listeners are a big XRP investor, let us know, and let us know if you're happy with what's going on here, if you're disappointed. I'm personally very disappointed in Ripple. Yes, they've been supporting us in winning cases. Bad, they support central bank digital currencies all over the place. They're pushing for those. And also they're selling off their token all the time to fund their company, which they shouldn't do, except for small amounts. They do it for billions of dollars, and that's not good. Yeah.
Oh, haven't heard one word from Pedro yet. Ah, man. I was wondering who Tom was talking to. That's hilarious, dude. Now I can it's so funny, dude.
But I know you were on first because I've got the studio levels and your thing was going up and down.
What's that, Lawton?
Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro Garcia in the house.
What up, Doc? What up, Space Cat? Shouting
God
out
damn
all
it.
to the homies. Jesus, que bueno.
I can tell you guys are barely listening to this shit because
who's Alder? Alder Factor? What up, Alder? What's up, bro? P2P movement. Good to see you guys. Hey, man, please, if you could do us a favor, please hit that like and share button. You don't understand. That does help, especially the share button. Wherever you do, put us on your normal listening social media that you like, whether it's the Gram, whether it's the Twitter, whether it is Facebook, or whether it is just simply your local one that you like and you want to share us too. Like, we'd appreciate that. That does get our name out there. And listen, right now we're growing this thing, and as me and Tom were talking about, but y'all can hear us. I remember when my show was one person watching, it was Tom. So that was funny, man. That was good. It's true, you know. And then we decided to come together and do forces, and he's great on commentary. And I was talking also about there's three things I do want to talk about. We'll talk about this rewards place in a second, or this rewards token in a second. It actually it's nicely following that daily 8 period moving average. That's fire. And the fact that it has such low volume here, right, in comparison, and it's still following that's a big deal. So we're going to talk about that, because that's actually something that I want to start teaching our viewers. So on these degen plays, when we see a sell-off and then we see it come back, right, with certain, as we break through and start to find support, I want to go over that here just from a technical analysis, so that if you guys are getting in these degen plays, when it breaks certain resistant levels, right, or support levels, you need to get out and take your money, right, and then just wait for another a trend to develop again. But we'll talk about that in a second. But I do like that chart a little bit. I just wish you guys had more volume there. I wish you guys would have more market cap here. But still, 34,000 ain't bad, man. At 34,000 market cap, you have half of that in liquidity. You know, that's bueno. That's actually really good. So I respect that. Respect. But let's jump here real quick to dude, what happened in Baltimore? I don't know if many people know. Did you watch that?
Oh, the bridge. Yeah, did you see the live video of it? That was wicked.
Bro, it broke my heart. And the people who were driving, I mean, imagine, bro, you're driving, and you're like, dude, there's a ship right there. Oh, yeah. Snap.
Well, they did. I listened to the press conference, and the ship, there was the harbor pilot was driving the boat, as they say. And when their power went out in the boat and they lost control of it, he was able to radio their operations center, and they warned the bridge that they were going to hit it. And so they actually stopped. The construction guys that were at the end of it stopped most traffic from it. That's why there was only like 2 cars on it. But the construction, it's a mile long. There were still 6, or there's 8 construction guys on the deck itself, and 6 of them are missing. It's awful, but it went for it knew for 3 minutes that it was going to hit the bridge.
Yeah. And it was and nobody was drunk. Nobody's at least that we know so far. Nobody was drinking. It was just the thing went out. The power went out for whatever reason. And we'll find out here as this happened last night. And man, I sat there and there were people who were videotaping it. Not even realize. They're like, dude, there's a ship right there in the middle of the night, coming towards the thing. Is it going to stop? So they started recording it, going and you hear them. One of the guys goes, it's not stopping. The ship is stopping. Why is it stopping? It's dumb. And then it hits and he goes, oh my effing G, oh my F, oh my, almost, you know what it reminded me of when it said, when the humanity, what's that?
The Hindenburg.
Hindenburg, bro. It was like that type of thing. And it was just it was so sad. My heart was just man. I thought it was a joke at first. Legit.
That bridge deck that went down is the part that went down is a mile long. The whole bridge is 8,000 feet, and the it's 5,002. What's that? I don't know, 1,400 meters or something, 1,500 meters or something like that. It's long.
Dude, it was bad, and literally, I thought to myself, man. Oh, we need to do something in crypto. I literally thought crypto needs to go through, create a coin, get the liquidity, and give it. I mean, I'm not joking. To the families who got lost. It sounds.
Man,
so bad.
I'm sure it's already a meme coin somewhere, bridge token, and it's probably getting rugged and people stealing everyone's money.
Oh man, it breaks my heart. What's up, Charlene? It's good to see you.
Shireen,
forgive me.
Shireen.
Shireen.
Corrected that on the past.
Yes. All right, guys.
Bridge falling down token. Well, thank you to the reward token people for bombing it. Thanks. We gave you a little airtime here. Feel free to use the token or use the share link on Yahoo. Jesus, how old am I? On YouTube desktop. Go to the point where we start talking about you. Click share. Click start here at this time. and then spam that to all your friends and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Wait, one last thing. I want to do an analysis here real quick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, reward token. Pedro Garcia is going to give a little overview of what he sees in the token.
Yeah, so I like this fact right here. So you guys actually pushed up. It wasn't botted up crazy. It was literally like, and we were just talking about, I wonder where you guys were able to do that without getting botted like crazy. And then so you had a decent push, right? You went from 2 to 4, nice little 2x or 1x there, boom, and then you sold off. Now I don't mind the sell off, because even when it sold off here, you had a decent sell off, right? And then you can see right here that this good little pumper pop, okay, as you came back and found support. This is where I would have entered right here, simply because you're above your high, or you're open, right, your launch. And then you can see right here you had this volume, and I want to point this out because this is a good way to play a degen. Okay, if it sells off and it comes back, what you want to see is something like this. You want to see it go sideways. Okay, it's not trending on anything. Then it pushes up. Okay, you see it come down. Now you see a higher volume. I do like to see the volume going in at a higher level, but as you can see here, even though you had higher volume in the red, you can see it. I bet you if we go into the 5-minute, it was actually probably more buys, right? And at this day here on the 9th here. But you can see here as it came back down, it then came back up. This right here would and it overshadowed this red. This right here is where then I would have been like, okay, it's time to go long here. So the next day I would have sit there and say, all right, I want to see some type of demand wick coming down to bounce off of that 8, because if it's going to start pushing, we're going to see it find some support on the 8, right? And you can see right here, this is exactly what happened. Pop. And typically I'm looking for about 3 to 4 candles, preferably like, you know, one up, one down, one up, one down, right? And then a push up, and or similar like this, where I want to see a wick come in, tap that 8-period moving average, and then push it up. You can see to the left, there's no resistance going up until at least we get up to here. Okay, so when I look at that, I can sit there and go, all right, well, I know that I want to be out.
Remember, it's hard to see your crosshairs there.
Oh, dang it. So, and I try so hard. All right, so you can see here that my crosshair, as you guys can see, is this right here is a setup as it's playing off of that 8-period moving average. So I'm seeing the 8 literally spring up. It would have looked like this, right? It would have looked like this with that 8, and then the next day you can see now it just picked up. See how that pickup right there, that 8-period, right? You can see the 20-period daily moving average now starting to pick up, right? It came down and it didn't move, like it didn't come down much. If normally what you would see is a big sell-off, it's going to push down, meaning they're now no longer, there's no more buyers in this, right? You would see more volume come, but we didn't see that. We saw it stay stagnant, which meaning you have an accumulation of buyers, and then boom, look, you see the shoot up. And then right there, you know, we see it now pause for a moment, boom, and this that was a beautiful chart. Like, look at that, that's beautiful. Sell off, come back, boom, push back up. It took out these this is a fair value gap, as you you know, if anybody understands what do you call I forget the trader's name, but I always try to get
I will be of no help with that.
It's okay. ICP trading, ICT's trading. You can see here, like here's the fair value gap, comes down, takes the liquidity underneath this day, and you see them push right back up, boom, right? So it's really interesting. I do expect to see this to continue. Again, we'll have something like this where we have a couple of days, maybe sell off to tap into that 8-period. It's a great trend. I would expect it to see it come back down, tap it again, and push back up. So yeah, this is a nice little start, and especially at 35K. You know what? If you guys start to get going, you start to get a huge people following you, and you use Twitter and you shield the junk malarkey out of this by bringing buyers, right? you get DJs start to jump in on this, you could see a nice little explosion. You get tap, tap, tap-a-roo. You know what I'm saying?
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Go to your home.
Don't you want to go to your home? So I like, that's a nice little chart. That was a good little, and I was able to, I've been wanting to talk about that again for you guys. So yeah, nice. Shout out to you guys. What's up, Big Monk? How you doing?
Pit Monk in the house, ladies and gentlemen. This is for you, Roscoe, also.
God save our gracious King.
The old buckaroo.
And we also saw Crypto Mike in the house. Crypto Mike says, sorry, I'm late. This is for Crypto Mike and all you other Canadians out there.
Oh, cannot pass.
Yeah. Who's positive? Person.
Positive person. Horde, the RWD. Let's misspell. P2P movement. You asked about an AMA. Just post the links to your room in go to TG, search DYOR Media, Crypto Striking's Crypto Smackdown. Join my room and post the links to your joint in there, and we'll get back to you.
Just so you also know, just right off the jump, we expect people to dox themselves. So we
Right.
don't,
Keep
yeah,
the expectations are high here because expectations in crypto are very low.
especially as this meme coin season really starts to get underway, and we start to see really just crazy things happen, right? We're just gonna see the scammers come out of nowhere. So hey, if you're gonna come on, you're gonna show yourself. You need to make sure that you really just put yourself out there, because our crew here is not for sale. We're not looking to make money.
Well, we are for sale because we have sponsors, but we're not shillers. We're not shillers.
Yes, there we go.
But we're more than happy to go over your chart if your guys bomb our show and bring our views up. So thank you very much. And all you new people that joined us once again, we have a daily talk show here called DYOR Live. We talk projects, we talk meme coins, we talk policy, regulation. Sometimes we have serious guests on. We've had Caitlin Long on the show. We've had Coinbase's lawyer that got rug pulled by the SEC.
So wrong.
And so when you see us post that the show is going to be live, or, if you hit the notification so you get when we're live, we usually have some pretty good content. Every once in a while, it goes astray, but we have a good time here.
Yes, we do. Listen, if you want to share your opinion, I will never stop you from sharing your opinion. If it's a woke ideology or whether you are
if you're woke, get the hell out. Just
no,
out.
Don't do that. No, we don't do it like that. You speak your truth, but it don't mean that we ain't gonna come at you. Let's just understand. Like we will put your feet to the fire. We will put it.
No woke zone.
No, this can be a woke zone. It's okay.
No.
Listen,
we can have a no wake zone, but this is definitely a no woke zone.
You can have a woke. You can have your thought. Just understand, we're going to put it to the fire. Just understand. Like, we got a lot of libertarians here. There are Republicans, there are Democrats, there's green, there's blue, there's orange, party, you name it. You can all be here, but just understand, every party gets their feet turned to the fire. All right, and so you got your thought.
Hey, seriously, yes, the SEC fuds their own bags. They do. We need an SEC token. That's negative. It's the opposite when you get a buy bot for when people sell.
Dude, I was talking about when Gensler was saying, don't go to any other website about that. We're the safest website, remember?
just a week later.
No, dude, it wasn't even a week later. It was literally like it was like a half a day. It was like, dude, that's what I love about crypto. Is just that, like, okay, you're gonna say something, you're gonna be tested. Like, you were going to be tested, dude. Remember when Do Kwon was like, oh, it'll be funny to watch all these guys crash. And then literally, like 2 weeks later, he's the one falling apart. And you're like, dang, man, they tested him that quick. Like, it was, be careful. Gotta be careful. Especially in crypto. People, it's like NWA. They will call you. If you don't talk trash, they'll call it.
All right, thank you, RWD people. Really appreciate it. This is the earlier I was talking about March Madness and comparing it to English Premier Soccer, football. and compressing it that whole season down into a short period of time. Here's the article I was talking about on bitcoin.com, news.bitcoin.com. Gambling takes center stage in this year's March Madness. I really think we need a whole series of meme tokens that are just
yes!
basketball. We really, I don't know if they're out there, but we need a whole series of them. And man, imagine the pumping and dumping that would go on.
No. Yes. That's exactly what needs to happen. Dude, why hasn't somebody done that yet? Dude, I would. Dude, and imagine the gluttony of the craziness that would happen, bro. Trash talking in the groups. Everybody would rate each other's groups. Like, it would.
And not only that, when in the last few minutes of every game, when everything goes berserk, some guy hits a 3 to tie the game, and then his team's token just pumps like crazy. The other team just dumps. As people are swapping back and forth. Man, you would need some serious liquidity pools so you could go directly from one team to the other, quickly.
Man.
So it would take money to do it. If you had to go through, 3 parties and best routes, it would cost, the gas would drive you crazy.
Dude, but it'd be so fun, dude. It would. Oh,
it would be a lot of fun.
That would football. No, it's not football. It is basketball. People. Dude, right? Like you're like, let's go. Oh, RWD. Yeah, man. I can see you guys moving. We'll see what happens. Y'all need to get some more liquidity, though. That's sure. You guys need to put together your raid team, and y'all need to hit Twitter. That's it. Speaking of raiding, I got raided by the
Cops?
guys. No.
ICE, they're deporting you.
Hey, Pedro Garcia. Speaking of Pedro, VFP, vote for Pedro. So I put those guys in, and the only reason I'm saying this is I haven't bought any of these guys or whatever. They haven't even launched. I don't even know if they're like a legit, but the guy, did you go check out their the group when I posted it?
No, I haven't done that yet. Quickly though, Jesus, there is a DYOR token. That's how this show got started a long time ago. But nothing really happened with it. But we got this show. Pit Monk says, "You're sounding much better today, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Great to have you back." Sorry, I interrupted you, Pedro. There.
No. Appreciate that, Pit. I really do. Thanks, man. I'm getting better. I'm still kind of coughing, but I woke up this morning. Like I went to bed, I had about 10 hours of sleep, and I woke up this morning going, "Oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel." Like it's like, let's go. So I was able to get a lot of work done, and it was actually really good. Got off the phone. I was a little late here. Apologize about that. But I was talking to a business owner trying to see if I can get them to invest. And so it was just one of those things, man. It was actually a really good, like I'm feeling good. My body feels good. And it's amazing. Like just feel how important just feeling good is.
I know that feeling. I was 2 days ago, I started my day in Toronto early in 5 a.m. and I finished it in Chicago at a late night Twitter Spaces, and I was finished so much that even last night I had a bunch of things to do, and all I did is right over here. So there's a couch, and all I did was plant my ass on that thing and watch all the YouTube videos that I had in my watch list, save for later type thing. And I was like, I just sat there like a lazy slug, and I was like, oh man, I am burned out. And why am I burned out? First of all, the travel, but two, as I've got on the screen here, from dejetting. Just quickly here, this article is the 5 dangers to beware when aping into Solana meme coins. Let's go over this. The first one is totally true. Meme coin creators are often totally inept. It's so true. This part of on March 18th, the developer of meme coin Slurf burned $10 million worth of the investors' pre-sale tokens instead of distributing them. Oops. While it was a nightmare for the pre-salers, it quickly flipped into a win for Slurf as the media coverage, as you know, in meme coins, all news is good news.
Yeah, when you're a meme coin. By the way, let's look at Slurf. What was SLU?
ERF. SLERF.
Here real quick, see how they're doing. Boom, 30. Let's go to that daily. Look, they weren't. Dude, that's actually a good sign. So they're just getting above that 8-period moving average on the daily. They can hold above here, right?
What's their MC?
Market cap is 33 mil. Actually,
no,
33.
That's got to be the wrong one.
Excuse me. Sorry. No. Market cap, it's 377 mil. Sorry.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's about about 1/3 of a bill market cap. Liquidity, bro, is about 134 mil, which is good. That's a good sign, right? You can get in and get out real quick. Here we go. Their price, boom. Good amount of volume. Daily volume there is sitting around 107 mil. So that's good, man. That's a lot of volume coming in and out. So if this thing can hold above that 8-period moving average here, we're gonna see this thing again. Let's talk about what we were just talking about, right? Is even though I didn't see much of a demand, if this thing closes above that 8 and we see it hold, okay, and then what we want to see is another red candle. So we want to see it close around 81 cents. 80 cents. I really would want to see it close around 81, 82 cents. The next day, I want to see a red candle where it starts off going down, right? Where it taps the, let me make this so you can actually see settings here real quick. Symbol.
Pedro, or Crypto Mike says Pedro just needs a few cans of Nas and Red Bull. That'll make you feel good. If I can remember it, I want to tell you my energy drink story here. It's really funny when Pedro's done here with Slurf.
What we want to see here real quick is we want to see this close, like I said, around that 80, 81 cent area here. We want to see a red candle come down. We want to see it tap that 8-period moving average that we have C right here. Okay. We want to see, and then the next day, right, we want to see this baby open up where it bounces off that 8, which would be about right here, right? And we should want to see kind of gradual move here. And then if we see that, this baby's going to all-time high. I would be shocked if it doesn't. If we see that type of setup, we're saying it's literally screaming to me, we want to move up. And then you can see already here that we're seeing volume, right? As we were coming down, we saw the red volume, the seller volume drop off, and then now we're seeing green volume, buyer volume step in, and it's starting to put in that position. It could barely even come down to the 42 cent mark area. So that's a good sign. That's a decent sign for me. If I'm looking at that, I'm going, you know what? That's screaming to me that it wants to. Yeah, I think we saw this, right? I think we aired it. Wait, no. I would have been sick. I don't think I was here. Was I here?
Yeah, I forget where yeah, because I remember I was calling it Lurf. And I thought the S was a dollar sign. And then I was like, it's right there. It's the top one. You're like, this is Slurf. I'm like, no, it's Lurf. And then I was like, oh, no, I'm an idiot.
I do remember that. Yes. And so where would I have gotten that? Oh, it's a 30-minute. Yeah. So this must have been up there. Came back down, hit our zone. And then now you can see it's just basically basing. So, and this, let's check out these basing candles. Yeah, man, it's looking decent. Boom. Look at that hour. Let's check out, see that 4 hour. See if, ooh, look at that. It's playing off that 4 hour. You can see it. It's already starting to trend off that 4 hour, right? If with that 4 hour, 8 hour.
It's the DYOR live effect. We talk about it. It happens.
It happens. I don't know. Why not? I'll believe it. We'll go for it.
Let's start talking about me winning the Powerball. Let's see if that comes true.
Both of us.
Crypto Mike, I'm going to tell you my energy drink story. When I was a youngster, I had a job that took me to California all the time, and I worked out of the Beverly Hills Rolls-Royce Bentley dealership out there. They hired a young salesman there that I became friends with, and yada, yada, yada. And we had planned to go out that evening. And he's like, man, I worked all day. I need a little night boost. and he kind of sniffled when he did that, and I was like, night boost, and I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And I'm like, is he talking about snorting some stuff up his nose? And anyway, he's like, we got to go get some night boost. And I'm like, I'm in his car, he's driving. I'm like, I don't want to go do a drug deal, you know. My end of the job, I had to do random drug tests and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. And we pull into 7-Eleven, and I'm like, this is where you buy drugs? And he walks inside. He's like, you coming? I was like, yeah. And I go inside, and he just goes to the freezer or the refrigerator, gets out some Red Bull and another energy drink. And I don't know what the brand was of the other one. And he goes, Night Boost. He says, when you're feeling down and you need some energy, you need a Night Boost. And you go get an energy drink. And I was like, I thought you were talking about cocaine. He's like, what are you, an idiot? And I was like, I didn't know what Night Boost was. So now when we refer to that stuff as just I need a Night Boost. And it can be any of those energy drinks and stuff like that. It was really funny. It was one of those times when I was like, what is this guy doing? I don't really know him yet. And he wants to go buy drugs and stuff. And I'm like, nope, just goes to 7-Eleven, gets a Red Bull. I was like this.
Right. Well, I mean, you never know, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's been times I think somebody's a square, right? And I'm like, good. Right, and then this guy's out there. I mean, like, I was like, dude, what happened to you? Like, you changed completely. Like, you want to go back out? I'm like, no, you're a nut. I'm good. So, like, you never know, bro, who's crazy and who's like normal. Like, that's the problem. Especially.
All right, let's go back to this meme coin list here. Pseudonyms mean you never know which scammer created the coin. Well, we all know that. For those of you that don't know, I also have another show that's called Rugged, Ruined, and Wrecked, in which I go over rug pulls, honeypots, and just mismanagement of tokens and that type of stuff. And I haven't done it in a while because I need to start up season 4 again. But as we always say, if they're not going to dox to you, then there's generally a problem. And sometimes, as I say, sometimes there's good reasons for not doxing, and I say these in my shows all the time. And that is sometimes people are in countries in which they can't dox because then the authorities come and take all their money. And that happens in the Western world. On a more serious note, in the Western world, you can get rich and nobody cares. In many parts of the world, if you get rich, it's like the mafia. You have to pay the political system all the way up to the top, the leader of the country, in order to keep your money. And if you don't, they take it away from you. And so a lot of guys don't dox because of that. In fact, I have next week, we're going to have a guy come on, and he's doxed to me, but he wants to not dox on the air because where he is, anyone that goes on the internet having any money in crypto gets a visit from a terrorist organization, say, you're not donating enough. And so there are certain exemptions for that. But as we all know with meme coins, most guys, they don't want to dox because eventually they're going to steal your money or they're avoiding taxes or something like that. Someone can come to your house, and that's why I'm keeping my pseudonymity. Yeah, but bankers, guys that run banks, you know. I mean, Jamie Dimon is obviously doxed. He runs the largest bank in the world, the biggest financial company. Larry Fink's doxed. Let's see, with number 3, rug pulls are more likely than your meme coin going to the moon. Yep. That's true. Although I must say, the number of rug pulls, we don't run into them as much anymore. Even though there's tons of them, the rug pulls don't become famous that quickly because people have ferreted them out now. Pretty much all the Solana meme coins have a burnt liquidity and are renounced. That eliminates a lot of the shenanigans. And people are much better at ferreting out hidden developer wallets that have billions of coins that can, rug just through a sale. Much better at it, and so those get ferreted out more quickly. They still take a bunch of the noobs down with them. Let's see, number 4, pre-sales are even riskier than investing in normal meme coins. We just went over this the other day, in which we talked about guys that run, one guy just raised $10 million, and he only put $5 million into the liquidity and just took $5 million. And people are like, well, you can't do that. Those are money, that type of stuff. And he just said, show me the rules. Show me the rules that says I have to use this all for liquidity. Said I need to I need marketing money. I need this. I need to pay myself. I need to get a new condo in the Bahamas. That type of stuff. And so the pre-sales are very risky unless Pink Sale has done a good job showing history that those developers have. And there's not a lot of them with a good history. But if you're lucky to get one, then you're lucky. Number 5, meme coins only have sentiment. There's no utility in most cases. And I went about that yesterday talking about the new pepez on mainnetz and saying, hey, it turns out it's not just a meme coin. They have a whole staking function. They're building their own bridge to bring money from the outside world into mainnetz, which invariably will benefit the holders of the token and that type of stuff. So sometimes, and SHIB famously started as a complete meme coin. Now it has a whole ecosystem, $1 billion ecosystem around it. But I thought this article was going to be fun to share. Basically, the first one's the best one because it's so true. Meme coin creators are often totally inept, and they are. Crypto Mike, isn't Pink Sale kind of shady? Yes, Pink Sale has been kind of shady for a long time. They actually cleaned their act up a lot. I mean, for a while they demanded, big payments in your token, and then your token started to go up, and then they would just dump it all on you and wreck your token. And people had enough of that, so they changed their ways a little bit, but they still get a lot of shenanigans. And they changed their verification system too. I was reading an article about it, how their verification system ferrets out fraud better. So Shane says, meme wars. Pay me in slurfs.
Slurf.
Hey, Sue says, I don't need a night boost. I need a day boost. That's why I'm drinking the caffeine right now.
This is true.
What we haven't talked about yet is what we try to do all the time is talk about a little bit about BTC.
We'll talk about that in a second. Definitely. There we go. Alrighty, let's pop this up.
Oop.
Looking at this one, a friend of mine went through and pulled this one up. It's called Donuts.
Donuts.
Donuts. He just sent me this. Wants me to do a little analysis on it, but I'm looking at it down here at this level. Around here is where I'm really looking at it. Boom.
Donuts on Solana.
If he's going to get into it here, this is where I want to get in at it, and then we should see. The only problem is not putting enough demand wicks, as we're coming down. So that's the only problem. I think price is exiting here. So for me, if I am going to get into it, this is where
at your green line down there, wait for it to come down there or close to it.
Yeah, and then go from here. He just sent this to me, but that's that Brinks guy I was telling you about, Brinks report.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's pretty legit, or he's pretty legit. I'm not saying that this donut, I don't know about this donuts here, but it's on Radium, I guess. What's Radium?
Radium's a DEX for Solana.
Okay, got it.
It's Radium's been raking in the fees. I mean, my God, those guys that started that. Woo! I mean, the amount of money that's being traded on, it's like $1 billion a day going through Radium. Or maybe,
what's the
maybe
percentage
I'm sorry,
it's
it's the standard 0.01%. I mean, it's more than $1 billion. I mean, Bohm did $1 billion in a day itself.
So you're telling me that these guys, their system, they're literally making.
Shane, you may be behind. Shane, make sure you hit that live slider and go live.
So 0.01 on $1 billion would be 100 million.
Yes.
100 million a day, bro.
No, I'm sorry. No, it's 10 million in fees. It's 10 minutes. It drop 1 0. It's 100 million. Drop 2 zeros. It's 10% of $1 billion is 100 million.
Still 10 million a day.
1% of a billion is 10 million. So $10 million in free cash a day.
Free cash.
And it's probably like 6 guys.
You know, that type of money, man. It's
Well,
it's,
they do they do split it with the LP. I mean, a lot of they don't just get all the money. They split it with the people because that goes into LP tokens and stuff like that.
but still, I mean, even $1 million a day or 100,000 a day is not a bad day.
No, I'll take 100,000 in free cash a year. Never mind a day.
Right. Like that's actually, that would be fun to sit there and be in that circumstance. Absolutely. Um, Speaking of fun, let's check out Bitcoin BTC, aka Mr. Beast, aka Taylor Swift, aka Swifters.
Swifties.
So Swifties. Um, let's see what it is doing. Right here, watch list.
Came right down and touched your numbers there, didn't it?
Yeah, this was Alphium. Yeah, I definitely did.
Oh, that's Alphium. I thought that was BTC.
No. We'll see. I mean, BTC didn't, but Ethereum did.
The reward token guys are still shilling it. They're hitting it hard. They're coming back for more.
Come on back.
You missed it. We covered your chart a little while ago there, Akintate.
Old wagums.
Yeah, no, don't try it. We're really bad at that.
Hey man, I want to try. If you put your name out, actually how to pronunciate it, I'll figure it out. I'll make it happen. All right, so right now we're seeing BTC starting to come in with a pretty decent amount of volume as we're sitting there, kind of going sideways. This is a nice little place for a nice little pullback right at the previous high. Previous all-time high is this red nice little path right here, this nice little thing. So it's definitely playing right here. We are putting a seller wick here, but we'll see if it closes right here like this. That's a good sign. If I start to see it now pull back with a full red body down to these lows here, that might be a negative sign. Just depends on what it wants to do for the next day, how it opens up for the next day here. But if we do see something like this, we want to see a pullback and then a push back up. So that's what we're looking for there. Check out Ethereum. Ethereum did hit our zone here. We talked about that yesterday as it came down, tapped through, hit the 50 period moving average, and now we're seeing this now starting to kind of get some momentum. We definitely saw a lot of buying happening yesterday with Ethereum, and today the nice little sell-off here with hardly any sell, real pressure. Is something where it's more of a pause, where we'll probably see today open up, come down first to go up, right? That's how we want to see today's play as it unfolds for tomorrow. You can see here,
Oh, that's the Zimbabwe music.
It's giving Zimbabwe. Oh, it's the king of Zimbabwe. But,
yes, real cute. Came in. You always ask about BTC, and Pedro just went over it just a minute ago.
just go over here again. I was just saying how what we're looking for is we're seeing some volume definitely starting to step in. We're seeing it do a sell-off today, but really no volume coming in from the sells today. But if we see it pick up, right, we want to see it stay above that 20 period, come back down, find some 20 to 8 period right here is what we want to see it come back down to and push back up. If I see it close with a big body red with the same amount of volume that we have today, that's going to be room for concern for me, but it's most likely not going to happen. This is basically a little breather here before we see the next leg up into BTC. Like I said, I expect to see 85,000, hopefully 100,000. I mean, honestly, I think we could see that even before the halvening. So it's going to be crazy if it does really start to pick up here. I guess room for concern could be that we are seeing a kind of chill out of volume at these levels here, but I don't know, it also could be that the institutions are wanting to hold this in place here until we maybe see the happening happen and then seeing them go all out here. So we'll see what happens. Jumping back to Binance here is finding support off that 20 period, which is basically the weekly 8. It's under this influence here, as you can see, as it came back down, pushed back up. BT or BNB, I'm definitely bullish on these guys simply because it is Well, just look at it. It's just solid like rock. I mean,
Yeah.
just big. That's all I gotta say is just look at it. And like brick house, letting it all hang out. Like it's just moving. So it's definitely going here. You can see here, finding that support on previous demand, or previous supply, which then became demand. We found support here and pushed back up. So even though I didn't see a complete sell-off that I was expecting with BTC, we saw our BNB as well as Ethereum come and touch our zones and push back up. I'm more apt to want to play with either one of these versus BTC, simply because BTC, we might not see a greater percentage, right, of gains than what we can see with BNB and Ethereum. XRP here, as we can see here, guys, this is looking really interesting, right? Even with the negative news that happened with yesterday, the only thing that we did see a sell-off was literally, and I think it's just now if you're a holder of XRP, it's almost food for par, right? Where
Just-
it's like,
Yeah, just a few days ago, they got this massive green candle, and they're like, "Woo! Yeah, so much good news. Everything was great."
Yeah.
They were like, "We're going to the moon. We're going to $2." And then Gary Gensler plays the Darth Vader music. Dun 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 dun.
like yeah, so it's
In the shitta.
literally. So it's just one of those things that I'll sit there and be like, that just sucks. So, but it is food for par here. Am I saying that right? Food for par or
Whatever, we got it.
play for par? Whatever.
Hopefully next time Mr. Rodriguez will play up to par. If you know that line, then you're a true OG like me.
You can see here though that we are like, even with that, there's not much of a sell-off. So I would expect to see another, maybe a continuation. If BTC starts to rally, we should see some type of rally out of XRP when it comes to this. I'm still expecting us to hit that 85 cent to 94 cent area here. So this pullback could be something that could be in your favor here. ADA looking the same way as everything else. The only thing is, if ADA sits there and closes green, I'd expect to see this really start to pick up momentum. Doge, it's funny, we went over Doge yesterday. Doge was actually showing this candle here, which is a sell-off with hardly any volume in that sell pressure. And so again, I would expect to see this start to climb here up to the 22 cent, 21 cent mark, and potentially again going to that next level. All this have already been traded through. If we are going to go, it's going to go to that 35 cent mark area here. So it's one of those things that to be paying attention. I think we very much could see it push back up. We did hit our zone here, or almost hit our zone. It came back down, and it's just starting to find some buyers at these levels as it continues up. Let's look at Solana. Solana is finding support at this previous supply. You can see we came here and now we're pushing back up. We closed above that 8-period moving average with a smaller amount of volume, it looks like. And I would expect to see the next leg up hit that 244, 256 area with Solana. Litecoin is just kind of sad. It hit our supply area here, and we saw it sell off. Found support on the 50, and it's just kind of just, you'd expect. I had huge hopes for Litecoin. I did. I thought we were in this next bull run. I thought is we're gonna see it go from 44 all the way back up to like 300-400, like Bitcoin, right? But like we even talked about it as it was kind of going sideways. We just saw it, or as Bitcoin was climbing up, Litecoin was just sideways here. So it's just kind of sad to see what's happening with Litecoin. This big organization, you know what I'm saying? They're not small. So it just, it'd be nice to see some of that push up. Let's check out Tron. Now, Tron seeing the sell-off for me, it was actually kind of shocking because I expected these guys to push back up to this monthly supply. And they actually sold off here, and they've been following that 8-period moving average here pretty strong. I mean, look, you can see it. Boom, pop it. Boom, sell off. So that next level is going to be that weekly 8. We'll probably come and test this weekly 8. If they can't get through this weekly 8 of 12 cents right? Which I do think they will. Then I would expect them to come back down to these lower levels of 10 cent, which is, I think, a good deal. I mean, that's 50% of a sell-off there within Tron. Be a good place to buy. I mean, these guys are really starting to push things and really starting to get things going. So he was recently on Bankless and talked about his organization, what he's doing. So it was one of those things I have to admit,
I'm going to refill the tea real quickly here.
Sorry. Justin Sun is really starting to show, like he's starting to put himself out there and talk to people and communicate. So it's one of those things that I think overall will bode well for the organization. I would expect it to see it come back down into this lower level of 10 cent, 9 cent area. You can pick up for 50% of a discount and then push it back up. Hey, Tom, I've got Echo. Okay, there you go. Let's check out Matic here real quick. Matic here on the daily. You can see here it looks pretty decent. This does kind of concern me, just the fact that we do have a lot of seller volume, but it doesn't mean like we have a ton of buyer volume as well. So you can see it's kind of equal to the amount. I would expect to see this thing come up, tap this 20. I don't expect this 20 to hold. Like this right here is not, it's not trending hard. There's nothing, we're not seeing any real resistance at this level here for that 20. So I'd expect to see a rally back up into that monthly zone here and to push up into it. So we'll find out what happens, but we'll do a little ping pong, it looks like here, and then push back up. Let's check out DOT. I think I went over DOT yesterday. It looks the same thing. We came back, we tested our zone here, pushed back up. Boom. Yeah, that was the other AVAX. I was impressed with AVAX. I'm expecting to see a rally out of AVAX here. Going back here, tapping this and seeing if we're going to push up. If we don't, this is important. Look, the next zone is actually down at this level here, which is going to be that 48 cent mark area here. And I'll put this in here real quick.
Crypto Alliance, I want to hear all about what you guys got planned. Heard some big news is coming out of you guys soon.
Oh, shoot.
Give us the alpha. Give us the alpha.
Crypto Allowance, what's up? Alliance, not allowance. Why am I saying allowance? Forgive me. So this is a daily zone here. This is something that I would definitely be. Let me check here real quick. Yeah, it's pretty weak here. Yeah. Let's just see if we can check on a monthly. Nothing. Weekly, nothing. But we do have a daily zone with that 8-period moving average. If it's going to come back down, I expect to see a sell off to that 48, 46, and then continue up if we do see a sell off on AVAX. Check out Shiba Inu, Shiba-Ru here. Shiba-Ru showing some pretty decent strength for this week. We can see here that it had that decent sell off. Daily supply becomes daily demand, as I always say. So expect to see this type of move here. I'm also going to put it right here. We're going to take this off and we'll actually put the demand zone sitting right there. This daily demand zone. And boom. And then we're going to add this right here. Boom. We'll check out what you want to do. RWD. Hey, Mike, what's up? Crypto Alliance. Sup TCA. Do you guys want me to go over? Oh, the Crypto Alliance. What's up, guys? We will be releasing more information over the next week or so, but we are implementing the next phase to the community of communities, which means opportunities for us all for all of us to make profit together. I love that. That's beautiful. What's it? We're all going to make it together. Nice. It's nice. Smash that. Thanks. Appreciate that. CT or C. If I could talk correctly, that'd be great. TCA.
Pedro, you did the Australian accent again with noise.
Nice. Nice.
Pit Monk is London, not
Nice.
Sydney.
Hello. Like a bottle of water. It's a nice. No, I still can't do it. I should probably take a class or something like that. But you can see here that as we're looking right here, I'm definitely seeing we could come back down, tap this area here on that 50 period moving average sitting there, and then see it rally. Also, that's where we see that weekly zone sitting at as well for the 8 period moving average. When I say zone, weekly zone, I mean the 8 period moving average. Here we go. Let's put that in as a daily week demand. But what makes it stronger is the fact that it is. We're gonna do this right here. Boom. And then what just happened to these guys? Yeah.
Oh, Lynn. Earn over $5,000 weekly trading. Please contact her. That's what we get from our Kick viewers. They get feet people, hula hoopers, hot tubbers, and scammers.
I love it.
Lynn.
It's all right, mate. Fancy a cup of tea. Fancy a cup of tea. We got a echo in the back. Echo.
You do?
Well, I did. It was just, I think it was playing off of your speaker system when you had it playing in the house. So, but yeah, we'll see what's up. You know, what's interesting is today, I was expecting some news to kind of come out with, you know, like with craziness happening. I'd expect that, like the stock market or something like that, right? Especially that bridge falling. I expected to see a sell-off in the stock market pretty decent. And we didn't really see much of that. So it was one of those things that I sat there and was like, huh, that's interesting. So
Nah, probably federal contractor stocks boomed because Biden was just on saying we're going to do anything we can to help. And that whole area is shipbuilders, big ironworks, that type of stuff. They're going to rebuild that bridge in record time and for record amounts of money. It's going to the stock market's going up, baby, from that.
Probably, man. NASDAQ was moving up here. Futures market was moving up. But it's just the futures. We're seeing a lot of top off right now in volume. You know, you can see here, we had a new contract that came on, switch right here with the NASDAQ, but you can see how we're seeing some sell-off here and kind of go inside. So I'm expecting to see some sell-off in the NASDAQ, most likely down into that 17,871 area. Probably see 1,000 point sell-off here, hit that 50 period moving average, which is typically going to be about where the 8 period moving average is sitting. So on that weekly chart there. So it's gonna be
just sorry to interrupt. My brother-in-law just is a pilot for Southwest, and he just landed in Baltimore. And he said on approach you could see the ship and the bridge in the water.
Oh wow! Is it crazy?
Yeah, he said they put a temporary flight restriction over that whole area because there's a lot of helicopters now over that area. He said, but we were just outside it on the approach. Wow.
That's nuts, man. Was it crazy looking? Man, I would love to see. Actually, I probably could see it on some news.
No, he said he was the pilot in charge, so he didn't have his phone out to take pictures.
That's another one, dude. I remember when pilots were like celebrities, man. Now you talk about a fall from grace, right?
Yeah, they just got a 50% raise with back pay for 5 years. Yeah, so there's plenty. Yeah. They made it was doing good.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad day.
Royal Q says love the show. Thank you very much, Royal Q.
Appreciate it. Let's check out here real quick. I want to go over some of. We had talked about what's actually happening with a lot of like the 30-year and the 20-year and what was actually happening. So right now we're kind of going sideways here with the government bonds, right? And so you can see as they're moving up, we're putting in higher highs here. Or excuse me, higher lows, but not higher highs. And so that's an indication of literally a pushback of the government bonds, which means we then should see some sell off on the yield is what we should see, right? That's typically what happens. And so let's check out the yield in all of this. Excuse me, this is the government yield. This is not the bond, this is the yield. Forgive me, 30-year yield. So meaning I don't know why I flip that. Sometimes I flip it, my brain's
I do
like,
too, all the time.
and it's like not what I'm trying to do. Like this is the 30-year bond. This means that we're doing, it's if the 30-year bond goes down, then the yield should go up, which means it makes it more difficult for business to actually happen. Even though, and the reason I want to bring this up is we're hearing the SEC talk about how they're going to like lower interest rates, right? Like we're hearing this, like we're hearing about, you know, but yet we're having higher highs and we're above these moving averages. And so to me, it's screaming that we're going to see a rate hike. And because they're, you know, the banks are positioning for a rate hike. So it's one of those things I'm just sitting there going, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, and like, let's check out the 1 month. Like the 1 month is still sitting at 5%. Like it's still there. Like that's the part that's so crazy. It's like you would think that they're talking about now stopping rates and they're going to now drop rates so to make, you know, now that inflation is underhand and we're seeing everything hold, you know, it's like, oh, inflation is now being controlled. And, you know, yet our 1 month like government bond is still at 5%. How does that work? For short-term money, you're making your best bet right now is to hold in like 1 month like treasury notes. Like how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't. I just this should drop and it's not, and it's just chilling. It is chilling like a villain. And 3 months, same thing. 6 months, same thing. 1 year, kind of coming down, right? So we can see it, but still, it's not like it's, you know, it's just, it's going to be really interesting to see really what happens. Dixie, let's check out the dollar here. Dollar is screaming up. You can see that it's just showing a lot of strength here. Again, that in itself is not a good thing because that puts pressure on all the smaller currencies out there, like third world currencies, and it is hurting the rest of the world. Absolutely. Like people don't realize that this is warfare right here, like to the fullest. And you know, and it's just, it's sad. Excuse me. No, that's not the Nikki. Where are you, Dixie? Dixie.
You got the
is
Japanese
dollar.
thing up there.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, no, that's not the Japanese. Is the Nikki? Nick.
Yeah, the Nikkei
Yeah,
is
it
the
is. Yeah.
Japanese.
Where are you at? I just had you. Boom. I was looking at the wrong one this morning. There we go. All right. I was looking at the Nikki, so for whatever reason, I was wrong. Let me
Man was getting Nicky instead of Nookie.
Yeah, we're talking about the Dixie here. So the Dixie, man, I messed that all up. Because I had a whole entire narrative that was screaming. Now that's like, nope. But either way, we're actually kind of going sideways here. So that's actually decent then. That's actually really good for the rest of the world. And that means that we're holding on, that we're helping out the rest of the world is what that means. It's still fairly high, but in relationship to inflation, it's not bad. I mean, like if this was up at these higher levels again, it really, with inflation, it would really, really hurt the rest of the world, but it's not.
All right, Pedro, our loyal viewer today, Jesus Kubara, is from the Operation Phoenix group, and he's been asking for a while. I think he needs to get going. Could you go over the Operation Phoenix chart? OPHX.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do that. Operation Phoenix.
For those of you watching on LinkedIn today, thank you very much for joining in. Haven't been live on LinkedIn much because we've been mostly talking about meme coins the past 2 weeks. And that's not a great topic for LinkedIn broadcasting. It doesn't get a lot of views, and I get a lot of gnarly comments, but they're up 1,000,000%. So, we're talking about crypto. But anyway, thanks. I really appreciate you guys watching on LinkedIn, taking the time. The comment machine doesn't work so great with LinkedIn, so if you want to participate in the discussions easily, come on over to YouTube and just search DYOR Media, and you'll find our live stream. But thank you for watching. Appreciate it.
Operation Phoenix is
OPHX on
say?
Pancake. No, that says Optimus. OPHX. OPH.
OPH. That explains it. Operation Phoenix. There we are. Check out the daily here. Yeah, man, we can see here that it is in a downtrend here, but it is holding on to this demand zone, which is sitting right here. So it's one of those things, right? Now these guys have a full-on like money system, right?
They do. They have a DEX, and they're with tokens that launch on it, and I think they have had very few so far, but because they paused that while they're bringing out a new DEX that is, and I'm not going to say it right, but it's going to allow trading from any chain somehow. There's going to be a cross-chain swapper that I don't know how it works, but it's going to be amazing, and it's going to eliminate the need for bridges. I think something crazy like that. You'll be able to buy, tokens on their DEX or whichever ones they set up, the Operation Phoenix token and whichever ones else they set up. You're going to be able to buy them from any other chain by using just the same liquidity pool on BNB, because that's where they are. They're on BSC. So I don't know how they're going to do that. DeFi Mark is the guy behind the programming for that, and I just can't wait to see it, because if it works, it'll change this whole thing up real fast. Real fast. Yeah, Shane, the sellless token, that's my old project, DYOR token. Not my old project, but the project I was involved in has had that sellless swapper since 2021, I guess. And Matt built it for us, and it's a good thing. And their whole DEX, the Operation Phoenix DEX, what it does is it takes out the taxes before the transaction hits the chart on the buy and then on the sell. So there's no swap liquefy, there's no tokens building up in marketing wallets. Everything is taken out ahead of time. So there's no red candle on the chart. Dev Matt, Mike is the dev behind Operation Phoenix here. And a bunch of other projects too.
Yeah, so if this thing can really find support at this level here and they can really get that thing going, I could see it pushing up. There are some resistance that they're going to have to struggle with a little. One is going to be that 8 cent, 7 cent mark area here, right? But if they can really get a lot of volume to really kick through these, their psychological resistant levels, they could really just push right through. You can see these aren't necessarily really strong trending SMAs, right? We can see that, but it is one of those things that I would make sure that. Give me 1 second. This thing needs to go right there. Why is this not doing that? Center right. There we are. I would expect to see this thing push up. I mean, I hope. Let's say I hope, because you guys do need some. You need some good news here. You do need some good news here. The next one that we could see is this right here. This level here is well hold. There we are. Try that again. There we We got another level right here. If it's going to come down to, this is where we want to sit there and see it as well. Come down to this daily zone here as well. So it's in between. Yeah, this is where I'm definitely looking to kind of gauge where I would want to buy at that lower level there. Where
Jesus says, I like how Pedro gets all technical. Well, that's his role here, is the technical analysis.
Yeah, like down at that lower level, that 2 cent 2849 area. If you're looking to get into here, this is where you would want to get in, right? That lower level here. After that, it's kind of a free fall. But if you want to get in, this is where you want to get in at. And so from here, from that 2 cent to that 7 cent, you got at least a 3x there, right? This is where I would hold it until we get to that 3x sitting up here, and then take off a little, take off where you made your money and a little bit more. And then if it pushes through here, you want to sit there and see it. Just hold on. If you want to hold on, you can. Make sure if it does, you see it push through this, come back, find support again here, and then push up. If it doesn't, right, at least there's some money here. And then you'll sit back and wait and kind of see how the market reacts to that psychological level of like 8 to 10 cent mark area here. So real interesting what's happening here within Operation Phoenix. These low levels could be just areas here for areas to buy. So really interesting to see as we move forward. What else? Do we have anything else to look at? Now is Squid Grow. How is Squid Grow doing? So many coins to follow. I lost track. I haven't seen it hit too. All right, let's check out.
Let's see. Space Cat just posted, Squid Grow came out with a new swapper called Silent Swap. Keeps all your information private. Now, I like that. Now, that's what I like. If you've heard me talk about this a lot, that most dexes and chains will essentially have to start going private as the technology for tracking things. And I don't mean government tracking you or tax man tracking you. I mean the myriad of websites out there that not only track your stuff, but they're starting to link you with big data, starting to link you to your wallets. And nobody wants that, especially businesses. Businesses don't want their competitors to be able to see that they move money around or that part of their balance sheet is, private businesses, not public reporting ones, is in certain cryptos and that type of stuff. Because you could do some harm knowing that. We got LinkedIn spam. Oh, boo, boo,
All right,
boo.
so this is Squid Grow here.
Sorry, I wasn't looking at that.
It's all good. It's on Uniswap. Just want to make sure I get it correct. Oh, is this correct? Which one is it? That's because this was 10 months. 10 months. This is 7 days ago. Obviously, it's not this one.
Hey, Seuss, we already went over BNB.
Oh, it's the one on BNB?
No. Oh, it's on BNB. Yeah.
A BSC.
That's
okay. All right, boom. Here we
Sorry,
go.
I misunderstood what he was typing.
All right, so you guys can see here, it is having a decent sell-off, nice little boost. So it took, what was that? I went from here to, 2.5x easily from the previous initial pump here back in the beginning of the month. So it's not bad. Where's that's interesting. What's going on with the chart? Bodies. Okay, yeah.
While Pedro's figuring it out, ladies and gentlemen, right below me, there's the DeFi Dojo Lounge. We're in a sponsored partnership with DeFi Dojo Lounge. And next week on April 2nd, we will have our first sponsored AMA from the DeFi Dojo Lounge from a group called EarnSphere. EarnSphere will be on. Robin from EarnSphere will be on talking about, yesterday I mistakenly said it would be today. I had my calendar wrong. It's next Tuesday. He'll be on talking about their new contract coming out, how the community directs its money to invest and everyone earns rewards from it. So pay attention to, if you're not part of the DeFi Dojo Telegram Lounge, go seek them out, find it, join them. They got some good, JB and crew over there have some good AMAs that they do. And they're kind enough to form a partnership with us in order to get the word out more about things and the projects that come visit them. And our first one will be next week, April 2nd. So look forward to that.
Nice. This is so weird. I don't understand why I'm seeing the wicks look like that. I don't even understand that. Let me pull up something else.
You're right, Pit Monk. We got some spam, eggs, bacon, sausage, and spam. They did it all. Spam. Sir, spam a lot.
Sir, spam.
Oh, we don't get, you know what? I missed that musical. I didn't get to see it when it was on. And now John Cleese is going around the U.S. doing it's basically his final comedy tour, and everyone loves it, and I missed it.
This is really weird. Do not know why it's not.
Shane, I went to a throwback party a while ago, and everyone brought appetizers from like the 50s and 60s, and about 10 people brought spam. I ate it. It's not good. No, sir.
Okay, well, I don't understand why that's happening, but let's go ahead and go over Squid Go Grow again. SSQ.
Ooh, I get it.
I don't know why that's doing that, but I would assume if we're going to come down, this is I would say that this area right here is really where I would look to get back in, which is the base right here. And you have a 100 period moving average sitting right there, which is a good sign, right? And that's a daily wick there. That's a good thing right there. Let's pull this up here real quick. Why didn't it let me save this? That is really weird. Alrighty. Okay, so this is where I'm looking to get in right here. Like, if I'm going to get into Squid Grow, this is the area that I'm looking to get in at. That 100 period moving average is where I would want to capture, like that 9225 area, and below, and then just kind of see what happens off of that 100 period moving average. Now, it may not come back down there, right? But the reality is as I'm looking at it, that's the area in which I want to see it. And additionally to that, I don't want to see a lot of supply wicks as we're coming down. And you can see right here, as of right now, there's not much supply, right? So you can definitely see if it does come back down to this area, we'll easily move back through. It might even consolidate for a while, maybe for a couple weeks, to get all the moving averages in line so that they can push through. Something that it might do. And then if we do get through here, the next level, if we find support here, would be, we already did a 2.5. It could do another, let's see how far that is. Boom, at that level. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, this next level, you can see it kind of came back down here, down to these lower levels here, and then shot back up. So we could see something similar to that, where it sits, kind of goes sideways again, and then, what was this? 4, 2, so that would have been 2.5x. So I would assume that this would be 2.5x. So maybe potential 4, 6, 5, around this area. We could see another from this lower level to another explosion, and it being at what's market value 14 mil, so it would come back down to about 7 mil, So we can see this thing up at like 21 mil again, 21, 24 mil at these higher levels here as we see it accumulate buyers here. And if you look right here, 1.6 mil, it's a decent amount of liquidity there. But as it gets higher, you want to see that liquidity increase. You know, that's really important, because all it takes is just one seller, and all of a sudden you're back at those lower levels. So yeah, you want to make sure you're paying attention to liquidity as we're coming down to those lower levels. If you start to see liquidity pick up, something that I would look to maybe get in at that lower level. Squid Grow CEO is one of the main speakers at the NFT conference in New York City. That's coming up. Really? I might have to go check that out then for the NFT conference in New York. I expect to see Squid Grow prices climb rapidly. You know what? Let's see. Let's check out the NFT.
Well, you got to be careful with that. I mean, they might be building the price into that now, and then do the sell the news type thing. So I wouldn't put a lot in that. There was as a great example. We just had the NVIDIA conference last week, and the CEO of NEAR was going to be speaking with Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, on the stage. And the 2 weeks before that, and NEAR, I think 3x'd in price. Not boom, but just slowly went up, and people said, "Oh my God, it's going to go boom right after it." No, it went down after it. Went down 30% right after it, because people bought the rumor and sold the news. So be careful with that. Film Dugets, thanks for coming on. You're late to the shill party. Your crew came in and shilled it earlier, and we actually went over your charts. So if you go back to the beginning of our show, you'll see us talk about your chart.
The other thing I would say is, if you don't mind, I'm hitting that like button real quick, and even share us to your local favorite social media platform. We'd appreciate that. I mean, you know.
You know, a tweet always helps us do things.
Yes, tweet always helps. You know, a nice little share, a nice little like. You know, we just might go over it again. Anyways, maybe we take a look at Render RND. I bought in at 42 cents, still holding. Where do you think it will go next? All right, let's check them out. For Pimp Monk, most deaf. We actually, in our crew, I looked up. It was really interesting to see what the AI said about him. I thought it was really cool.
I know, that was pretty funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like,
for those of you who don't know, we've put the PAL AI in our Telegram room, and it's DYOR Media, Striking's Crypto Smackdown. If you know how to find things, you'll find it. And we put the PAL AI in there, and the only thing I fed into it is our YouTube shows. And so you can ask questions about the show, about topics, all kinds of stuff. And everyone started asking about the viewers, about me and Pedro and stuff, and I came up with some funny answers. And Pitmonk, you've discovered that the AI goes outside of the show knowledge, and it teaches you how to cook and fix your lawnmower and that type of stuff. I didn't know it was set up like that.
Wait, okay, backtrack. Okay, you're telling me you got in at 42 cents? No, this isn't correct. I was like, Render. I was like, you're up, dude. Like, you were doing good. Like, real good.
No, it's RNDR.
Yeah. There we are. RNDR. Render. Okay, there we go. No, I think that's correct.
Yeah, you had the one from Solana up. It's on ETH.
ETH. There we go.
Yeah, that's the first one, is it?
Okay.
I mean, they have a lot of pairs.
Man, that's a dude. He's still killing it. Was it $4 that you got in, or did you get in at?
Now, I have a feeling he only put in $10, and he's going to say, "Oh, it's about 7 pounds." That's what he's going to tell us. There you go.
Yeah, that's about right. Okay, here we go.
Similar chart.
Yeah, dude. I'm curious. What did you get in at? I only bought about $10 worth, man.
At 42 cents.
Dang. But still,
that's all the way at the bottom. You know, that's
you literally got in at the lows, bro.
or where it came
remember-
back down during that consolidation last year, or even 2022 consolidation. That's where.
62 cents, man. Nice. Like this thing, buying even $100 of this thing, you would be killing it. Killing it. Nice, man. That's a nice little 10x, man. Still, I mean, you put $10, you got $100 out of that. That's not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Right? Jesus, right? Like, right? You got in at 2023. Not bad.
Yeah, I brought over on the screen over here. I brought up our AI portfolio here, and we started following Render. It was at $3. We did not put it in the show's portfolio. And Fetch, same thing with Fetch. Same thing with Singularity. We should have bought them all.
I thought we were
Didn't.
supposed to do that. I thought I always say, you know, but still, man, like that's, dude, this thing, nice. I would say if we're gonna sit there and look at it, looks okay. 4.2 bill, 4.6 mil. Ooh, that's not good. The liquidity there is not. I want to.
Well, they have massive liquidity on exchanges, though.
Okay.
I mean, there's.
All right, nice, man. But still, it's not bad. So I would expect to see. Let's see it on the larger time frame. So it's waiting. You see how we've been tapping this 8 period on the weekly. I would expect to see it either come back, tap down to that $8 mark and see it rally up, or potentially, if we're gonna see this thing continue. Let's see right here. Let's see the percentage in which it pushed up and then gets sold off. Where are you at? Fibs. Here we are. Okay, so what was it at? 23 cents, and it rallied all the way up to $8. 23 cents. That would be 5 times 8 is 40x. So what is there? Potentially 5. So we could see this thing up potentially to 40. I mean, like legit. So that would be, we could see this thing climb back up at least to 16 bill.
Very nice. That would be nice for all.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. From here to there, 40, 35, 30-ish area. That's, you could see that thing climb up to there. Especially if this thing really starts to come. You can see there are a lot of buyers sitting here at these lower levels. You know, we definitely consolidated, and you can see even as we continue to push here, boom, people are buying in. So on that daily chart, we're showing some weakness a little, coming back down. So I would say if you're going to come back down, this is where you really want to buy down that $6, $4 mark area.
Keep holding it, Bitmonk. Or take your profits and wait for it to come down and buy it back again.
Yeah, I would sit there and do that.
Yeah, one of the just a little background on Render. It's an online GPU farming, as Pitmonk said. One of the I was listening to another guy's show the other day, and he had somewhat of a GPU expert on there, and it was also a guy that invests his venture funds in these types of things. He said, remember, he said these online rendering things are a solution to a supply chain problem. And that's because NVIDIA can't make enough of these, and AMD hasn't caught up to NVIDIA yet. And he said businesses are very good at solving their supply chain issues. And he said once NVIDIA cranks up their production, there won't be a need for these online rendering farms and all that type of stuff, because the prices of GPUs will be more ubiquitous, prices will come down, and everything will be fine again. So pay attention to those articles that talk about the supply of GPUs. As soon as they start saying NVIDIA's catching up, then I would relook at your investments in online GPU stuff.
So I want to ask you a question,
smoke 'em.
Tom. So I'm going to ask you a quick question about, you know, like NVIDIA is really, a lot of their product is made really in Taiwan, right?
Yep.
And a lot of the stuff, and what's been going on with China, I mean, and this is new news to me. I was listening to Andrew Bustamante. He's the CIA. Like he's starting to get really well known. He was just on Joe Rogan. He's been on Joe Rogan a couple times, and he was on a couple other comics and stuff like that. So the guy's smart. Has his own business. Somebody was asking, like, so what are your thoughts really on China? What's actually going on with Taiwan? And he goes, it's not good. Well, simply because he goes, what keeps America still in there is that the people don't really want the communists there, right? And the president doesn't want them. But he goes, at least half of their Congress is filled with CCP sympathizers, if not 2/3. And
Right, because they the Chinese government pays, does subterfuge and undermines politics all over the world to get candidates in that support them.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, we see that here, even in America, right?
And
Like
it's bad in Canada.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, and we see them really taking hold of the Caribbeans and third world countries by basically just giving them money lower than what's happening around the world. The reason I bring that up is if in case, okay, China is able to take hold without a war, okay, and this is what he brought up. So really, and I thought this was an interesting thought. Without war, because one of the biggest things that what was it that China, or what was it that Japan said, right? Like, you woke up the sleeping giant. Great job. Now we're all going to get our face kicked in, right? Like, we are the most warrioristic society ever since ancient Assyria. We are ruthless, but we're a smart, ruthless country, but we're still ruthless. And so we are no joke, right? And so the Chinese know that. So they're doing their best not to create, and I want to push, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. Not to create a fight, like an actual real fight, but to slowly sit there and take over through a very small, subtle, inch by inch way over the next 10, 15 years.
Death by 1,000 cuts works just as well as an atomic bomb.
Exactly. So do you think China would be willing to allow itself to, like, if China takes over through an actual judicial way, in a very smart way, say, okay, they finally win over Congress, and Congress goes, we want to merge right back into mainland China. Do you think America is going to allow that? And if we do not allow that, because this has to do with render, what we're talking about, right? Would you that changes the landscape of the world computing properties overnight, like literally overnight, because all of a sudden now,
let's back up the bus. Let's get to whether it's going to happen or not. They can't just vote and have a vote and say, oh, we're going to go back to China. First of all, their constitution doesn't really allow that. They'd have to change a lot of things. And two, not that I'm an expert on Taiwanese constitutions, but that type of vote is not easy. And it's not just the Congress. The people would have to vote in an overwhelming majority to do that. Second, when everyone learns that they're all going to get fired because all the businesses are going to pack up and move, Taiwan is semiconductors, right? And the U.S. government's paying billions of dollars now to onshore that stuff back in the U.S. or nearshore it. And that's starting to ramp up. And by the time this would get going, every business would talk to their people and say, look, NVIDIA, Apple, everybody, all these people are gonna leave, and all you guys are gonna be unemployed, and you're gonna have to go work for these Chinese companies out in the fields. Those voters will change that whole thing. Unless they do it by force and trick everybody and just start going re-education camps again, like Cambodia. I don't see it happening easily. That type of stuff. Pitmonk, I did want to address what you're saying about in Crypto Mike too. One of the things you need to remember about online gaming and rendering is online. There's still a physical place somewhere. It's just not in your house, and someone has to sell them the graphics cards. And NVIDIA has a line of graphics cards that cost $50,000 each. You know, you don't hear much about them because there's only the data centers buy them, and Microsoft and Amazon and this type of stuff for their or their data centers that have virtual machines with heavy-duty graphics processing, and also for the AI farms and all this type of stuff. Someone has to make those, and NVIDIA makes them, and they're short on them. They're so short on them they can charge $50,000 each. When you hear about the shortages in like the 4090s or the new 50 series coming out, that's not what they're really talking about, because that's what the low-end companies use. The higher-end companies use they're really behind the scenes. They're H models, and then they're super ones that cost $50,000 each. That's what really powers those online gaming things. But they still have to. It's not like it's magic. I mean, there is the company that crowdsources the extra GPUs in my computer and Pedro's computer and all that. But none of that is fast enough for gaming. That's good for AI thinking and that type of stuff. Not good for gaming because it's just too long. Pedro, I want to switch some things up as we're getting a little long in the tooth here in the show. And earlier today, I wanted to talk to you guys about where you're going to be investing in 2024. And I've been thinking about this for a couple of days about we saw all the things. Pedro, you and I have been talking about all the things that were really popular for the past couple of weeks, months actually, and where is it going to go from here? And this morning I was listening to Ran talk on Crypto Banter about changing up the portfolio for things, and so he posted his portfolio. So I thought I would put that up here and talk about it a little bit with you, so we can start getting on the seeing what's coming up that's new. One of the things, let's see, let me make sure you guys can see this here. All right, let me take that down. Not that one, this one. Take that down and then get rid of the BTC thing here so we can read this. It doesn't look like you can really read that. Let me try and blow that up a little. All right, the screen what we got here is the general narratives of what's going on. That according to Ran, who is one of the most successful online traders you can possibly imagine, to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. I started watching his show a little bit ago. I did not to pump someone else's show, but he's a genius and rich. Good two problems I would love to have, which I don't have. But he started out a fund with $100,000 in it, and it's already at $4.9 million. And that was, since the end of January or middle of January, something like that. The basic narratives of things for a big part of this year: Solana neutral. It's already had its huge run. ETH underweight, no ETF approval, better returns available. Cosmos had its run already, and this list is pretty good. It talks about Telegram's TON, 900 million users invest in that. Base, huge, $100 million users from Coinbase. Phantom, lagging performance but great new technology, and the ex-CEO of Phantom came back to it, so he's very psyched about that. All sorts of other good kind of alpha about how he and his researchers kind of look at this thing. And I'm just going to skip quickly to how they build up a portfolio. Oops, that's the wrong button. And he gives the reasons why. I'll put a link to this in the Telegram room. In fact, I'll do that right now. Let's see, Strikings, Crypto Smackdown. Basically, it goes through where, if you had $10,000 here, where would you invest it all? This field here is the $10,000 field for the total. And it just goes right down through all the different categories from Bitcoin, $500 in it, in the layer ones, Solana, TON, Airweave, Phantom, Near, Sui, Aptos, Avalanche, and all the different, 250, 500, yada, yada, yada. And there's a great list over here, or behind me here, of why. So I suggest you guys should all go read that. If you don't know what my Telegram room is, it is DYOR Media, and you'll just search it in TG, you'll find it. Quickly, JC says, what everybody has to see is that AI is going to constantly need more power and more rendering as it evolves, so I don't think that the supply fulfillment of NVIDIA will slow the growth demand. You just got to remember, somebody has to make these chips. Someone has to make them. And AMD isn't there doing it yet, and NVIDIA's got a supply problem. And so even if they're in your home computer, someone's got. I mean, I went to the computer store the other day, and they had one 4090, and they're charging $1,800 for it. So, thanks, Pedro. I appreciate it. So just be wary of that. But anyway, back to this. Even the layer 2s to have in your portfolio: Optimism, Arbitrum, Mantle, Meti, Manta, Koti. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe. Nope, I'm not. Even the DEXs, the perpetual DEXs, Avo, it's getting a lot of. That's probably something I'm going to start using to trade here soon. Vertex, GMX, Mux, and RabbitX, or the last two, Mux and RabbitX, they're like have a little. Looks like they're rounding, turned it into 0. And even the regular DEXs, he says make sure you're in Jupiter and Radium and Orca.
Dude, Jupiter, dude, that's.
I know.
I'm so pissed.
Yeah, Radium did the same thing. Went boom because of the money they were making.
Dude.
And the AI ones, there's been a lot of AI plays.
Yep.
Talks about BitTensor, Based.ai, OLAS, Fetch still. And I'm going to add to that Pacioli.ai, which is the AI protocol from Audit Chain, our show sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, our show sponsor. It's actually launching... right now, they're starting their INO, their initial node offering of here. I'm gonna bring it up. Initial node offering for validators. They're gonna be selling access to 2,200 validators, and basically the validators are checking all the financial statements of all the public companies of the world. And it's currently a $1 trillion market, so it's a big market. And it's something that AI is taking, something that would take a bunch of Deloitte guys many billable hours to do, and they compress it down into about 90 seconds and for a lot less money. And these validators do this on the blockchain, and they check up on traditional finance companies. Isn't that amazing?
I think what you're saying here is like it's one of those things that is like this problem isn't going away, and these solving issues that the Pacioli network is bringing is something that's just going to keep increasing their need for them. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep, that's what you're hearing. It's literally about to go boom once they get their nodes out there, and it's powered by their token called Audit Chain, which you can find on Matic. It's absolutely, I'm not saying it's a big investment thing. The token is used for gas, but more people are going to be using it, so you do the math there. Dar Baby says, great info. Glad to find you guys. Dar Baby, tell us how you found us. Okiki is pitching RWD, reward token, so is Reaction TV. Reaction TV, I've seen you before, I believe. But anyway, we went over that at the beginning of the show. If you would like to go back all the way to the beginning, like in the first 15 minutes, we talk a lot about reward token because they bombed our chat.
yes. Oh, what's up, Kaching? Oh, snaps. King's in the house.
Kaching in the house. Thank you very much for joining in, Derek.
Dar Baby.
Dar Baby.
Dar Baby. Where you coming from? How'd you find us? We'd love to hear it. And as I always ask, where are you at in the world right now? Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, where would you like to be? So.
Yep. And then a couple other categories in the DPIN category. Akash, I don't know how you pronounce that one. AIOs, Nosana, Render, ICP. We all know ICP has been booming lately. Kudos, Core.ai, Helium, Hive Mapper.
Dude, he's
Poke.
price point right there is nice. I agree with that 681.
Yeah, what does that call them? Starting price.
Yeah.
I think that's where they bought. I think that's where they bought in.
Oh, nice.
And then lastly, in the gaming category, full of big names: Immutable, Ronin, Beam, Zai, Superverse, Cetify, Nakamoto, etc., etc., etc. And then in the real world asset, Ondo, I'm an investor in Ondo, and it's been balls to the wall. It's been great. Ondo's been funding my old meme coin plays with those profits. Centrifuse, Clearpool, Goldfinch, Maple, blah 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 blah, yada yada, and even cross chain stuff. Thorchain, Rune is that's Rune, right? Thorchain. Ran is heavy into that and sees big X's coming from that still. Chain Flip, Stargate, and then it goes on and on and on. But you can find this spreadsheet easily in the DYOR Media Telegram room. Go find it. Join if you're smart enough to pass the captcha. You're smart enough to look at our content.
I love it.
Boy, you real world. Your reward token guys. You guys don't stop.
I love it, man.
Going.
Come on, keep it going.
Come on, man. Bring the views. Bring them, baby.
Views. We ain't gonna stop you. Shoot, if you want to shill it, shill it. By the way, forever, where you coming from? Where you at? Tell us where you would like to be if you don't feel comfortable with that as well. Dude.
Pedro, I'm gonna I do have a hard stop here at 1:30. I've got a meeting with the blockchain futurist convention people.
Oh, nice, bro. Okay, well, let's go and wrap this up. I'm actually looking at Gala here. We pushed
Hold on,
right
I don't
through.
get your screen up. There we go. You're good.
All right, cool. So we pushed right through this area and really found support right here. And now we're starting to push back up. So Gala, man, we were looking at Gala back in these lower levels here.
I know. All these things we looked at boomed. We never bought them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it went from 2 cents to 8 cents, and then now it's kind of hovering. So at that 6 cents mark. Real nice area here. It's definitely playing off of that weekly 8-period moving average, and like I said, it pushed through that weekly zones. Now all it's free sky here. The next spot we could sit there and see come in is really the let's pull this up here real quick. The weekly apply. We can play this here. Here would be the next play is from where we're sitting at, from 6 cents to that 14 to 16 cent area here. Check this area out. Potential, is this a monthly play as well? No, yeah. So weekly, monthly. So we're gonna see definitely some resistance here. But even here is it's not a bad play. We're at least a 2x right there. And in additionally to that, you could play that as it comes back down all the way to let's pull this here real quick. That 8. So it could come back down to that 8 here. And then push back up, and that's looking like that 4 cent mark, 5 cent mark area. So we come back down to the area. That's where we want to buy at. Mark that down right now in our group for Gala. When Gala comes back down to 4 cent, we want to get in at it. And
Gala at 4 cent. I'm writing it down at
4 cent.
4 cent,
actually
homie.
5 cent. We'll say 5 cent.
5 cent.
Yeah, 5 cent. Where we want to sit there and say. Yeah, it's a nice little area there. You know what? Whenever I'm looking at these things from now on, I'm just gonna give you price points where we're gonna buy in at, and then mark it down, and we just get in on it for the portfolio.
All right.
So would be good. All right, man. Well, that's in a nutshell. I think you asked for that. Man,
Sammy Kings, thank you for joining the show. I got to tell you, I think either they have 1 million users or people in their community, or every single one of them came and shilled on the show today. Trust us, we got reward token on the mind.
Yeah, Sultan, man. By the way, where are they? Do you guys have your own Telegram?
Yeah, someone dropped the Telegram so we can go find you guys.
Yeah, we'll go check it out. We'll pop in. We'll be local celebrities over there. Local celebrities. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have you guys, obviously you've launched, but it's one of those things. You never know. You never know. Something will boom. Especially, like we always go back to this company right here. Like this. Like these guys should never be here, and look.
Lunic.
Bro, crypto is a beautiful thing. You can always come back.
It certainly is, and we've had a good show today. I gotta tell you, we had a lot of people come on the show. You your reward token guys just bombed us, got us up over 100 viewers today. Loving it. Had a good chat here with everybody today too. But anyway, let's kick off the end of the show properly with a. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of DYOR Live comes to a conclusion here. Pedro, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for all the stuff you went over. Thanks for being healthy again. Come on. Can you hear the music? Do I have it piped into you?
No, it's
okay,
good.
Space Cat says, see you all in the crypto space. Crypto Mike says, adios, amigos. Chuck says, keep it real, homies. We're going to go buy some homies, I think, right now. We'll be on tomorrow at the same time, 12 noon. We'll go until today was supposed to be a 2-hour show, but we're 2.5 hours. We're spending lots of time on the air talking to you guys. Thanks for spending, as Crypto Lifer says, your most valuable asset, your time, in speaking to us and chatting and paying attention. We love all of you, even all you new guys. It's a reward token stuff. Anyway, have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Maybe. I might leave if I can find that button. See you tomorrow. Be there.